That's the induction contact. We have a brand new updated list, and pretty much the last time I think Lisa and I looked at it, we have almost all schools on there. So you do have an administrator that oversees the mentoring program. So I ask that you work with that administrator to identify mentors and create your team. So I think that that's really important as you go ahead and look and say to yourself, you know, I'm going to get to know my teachers. I am going to look over my staff, and I'm going to look at my mentors, and I'm going to try my very best to match them together. And elementary, you have grade level, and secondary, maybe a little bit more challenging because some of our new teachers may be teaching a subject by themselves. I know I was in that position at a couple of high schools where I was the only one in the math department teaching that course. So maybe a little bit more challenging, or even in a department where there's a single person. But I do ask that you try your best to pair up the mentor-mentee so they have some type of commonality. We do find that through our mentoring surveys that those new teachers seem much happier if they can relate to their mentor on some type of content. Also, I'd like for you to meet with your mentoring team during pre-planning, which is right now, that's occurring. So I am hoping that that is happening or has happened already. And if not, a few more days where you could get your mentoring team together and have a conversation. Bridget sent out an amazing newsletter today, and I forwarded it to everyone again. And I said, please, please, please read it, because there are some awesome things that you could be doing during pre-planning with your mentoring team to ensure that all of those relationships are being built now with those new teachers. And if you're thinking, wow, what should I be talking about? What should I be doing? What should I be sharing? That newsletter has it all in it. So I'm going to ask you to please accomplish that. And then once again, as you are identifying your mentors and creating your team, making sure that those mentors are CET certified. That's number one. And then matching them up again by content, subject matter content standards, procedures, policies, classroom management. And again, I feel that if you work hard at that, you're going to have successful mentoring teams. I know that maybe 2-3 months from now, one of your new teachers may come to you and say it's not working out well, that, you know, really not connecting with my mentor, even though you've tried to match up those subject matter content standards and grade levels and all that good stuff. But that's why you have that position in your school, because now you have the ability to look at your mentoring team and make a switch. That's okay. So that is truly within your responsibility to pay attention to who is being successful in those mentoring teams, mentor-mentees, and who is not, and make some changes. So we want to just make sure that you understand that you have flexibility in that. So take some time now and do these 3 things, and I think it will make a big difference as you move through the year. A couple other things I just wanted to mention is when you are providing professional development, that is part of your job too. And Lisa's going to talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, about what's required of new teachers. We want to make sure that they are doing what they need to do to satisfy their PD for their evaluation. So that's important. It's also important that you, as the lead mentor overseeing the mentoring team, are ensuring that the observations and feedback sessions are happening. You know, as you all took clinical educator training, that was such a big piece of CET. You all learned, hey, you know, how to mentor. You know, you went through the cycle of the pre-conference, the observation, completing the data forms, writing up your conference, giving the feedback. We practiced the feedback. So you want to ensure that that's actually occurring. And I know Bridget's going to talk a little bit about that at the end, but that's so very, very important. The PD piece, the observations, and the feedbacks. And if it's not occurring, then your job is to kind of go in and kind of investigate a little bit and see, why are these new teachers not knowing about certain things happening in the district, certain professional development, and also not receiving feedback on their teaching, because it's really, really important. That's how we're going to actually retain our teachers. You know, the more feedback they have from you if you are mentoring, because I know some of our lead mentors are, or the more feedback they're having from their mentors, the more successful they're going to be. So that's just something that we feel very strongly about, and I know Lisa and Bridget are going to talk a little bit more about that.
Linda,
okay,
Marcy
Lisa?
has a question before you go ahead.
Yes. Marcy, question?
All right. So one of the things I heard you say was checking that the mentors are CET trained.
Yes.
And we're finding that the list that was sent to our school is really inaccurate. So is there a way for us to check it like ourselves? Like, is there a screen my admin should be going to, or?
So Marcy, when you say it was really inaccurate, because it was just updated off of ProGo for those people that had the completion of the credits in July.
All right. I mean, like, yeah, then I went to these people. I said, "You're CET trained." They're like, "No, I'm not." Like 3 of them on our list. I went back and followed up because I was like, I kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to assign you a mentor." It's like, I haven't been trained.
Okay.
So
that's interesting because, like I said, it came off of the ProGo training. So if you could send me those names, I will go in and look at their transcripts, just to make sure, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. I'll personally check their transcripts.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Marcy. Okay, so responsibilities for lead mentors form. This should look very familiar to you because if you've been mentoring, you've seen this as a lead mentor. And if you're brand new, again, first time, I am going to email you this probably on Friday, so everyone will have an updated copy. But this is the full responsibility chart, and we've kind of talked through some of this already. So what I'd like for you to do when you get that form is to review your job responsibilities. Just spend some time, look at all the responsibilities from identifying your mentors with your administrator, which you should be doing now, providing the mentoring team support, monitoring the mentors, like I said, to ensure that they're actually doing observations, they're taking part in the coaching cycle, providing that professional development, or making sure that the new teachers are taking professional development that they need for their certification. And another thought, how better to get to know your mentoring team than maybe you and some of your mentors collaborate. I think it's a great idea if you maybe ask if you can go in and observe some of their classrooms, because if you really don't know how they're teaching, how do you know what they're doing to support the new teachers? So that goes back to what we've offered in this district for years, the peer coaching. We've been doing this for almost 10 years now, where we encourage our colleagues, our peers to observe each other. Just go in a classroom and say, I'd like to just come in for 20 minutes. I really would like to learn from you, what's going on, and just kind of see what's happening in those mentors' classrooms, because they're ultimately supporting our new teachers, okay? And then attend our monthly mentor chats. We will be doing mentor chats again, and they were very successful last year, and we want to thank all those who did join and attend those meetings. So we've updated some of the mentor chats, so you won't be hearing the exact same thing again. We have some new facilitators on, some new content from some of the people that have facilitated in the past. So along with sending out this responsibilities for lead mentor form, I'm going to send out the calendar on Friday so you can mark your dates for those mentor chats. And then what I'd like you to do with this responsibility form is down at the very bottom, for accountability purposes, we put a statement on there, and it says, I understand and agree to actively assume the responsibilities of the lead mentor role to ensure information is provided monthly to my mentors and new teachers. And then I would like you to print your name so I can make sure I can read it, and your school and your date. And you're going to return this to me by email. And I'm going to collect all of these in a folder. And I just ask if you could please, this is really important, the subject line must read lead mentor responsibilities. So when you send it back to me, if you would put lead mentor responsibilities, because it's automatically going to go into a folder in my Outlook. So I won't have to move them in a folder. It will go in there, which for me is helpful because I don't want to lose any of them. So I need a form back from everyone for accountability. It is also accountability for your stipends that you are paid in the spring, so we can ensure that All of this flows in a positive direction. All of our new teachers are being mentored. You as a lead mentor are also overseeing your team, making sure information from our mentor chats is disseminated to your mentoring team and new teachers. And then we have the accountability for the stipends. So that's something new this year. So I want to just let you know that. And is there any questions on anything I've talked about so far? Okay. And I see Martha said quite a few were in the wrong meeting. Okay, Martha, did everyone get caught up? Does anyone need me to just review anything from my section here? No? Okay. All right, so this is the other thing I'd like to make sure you as a lead mentor know, that we have a new lead mentor training, and here are the dates and times. So if you are a brand new lead mentor and you happen to be on tonight, we're asking you to come to a new lead mentor training. Today, we're just kind of briefly going over some new procedures and policies, but we'll spend a little time. We'll have more time to collaborate and talk and do some questions and give you some time in breakout rooms. So this will be a really much more intensive training on the roles and responsibilities of new lead mentors. And I just want to make sure if you are on, and I know we've had some changes as of yesterday in lead mentors. If you are thinking that you are thinking, hey, I'm going to be a lead mentor, and I'm not going to want to do it anymore, and I have someone else in mind. If you are thinking that way, it's probably a really good idea that you let them know that you don't want this position anymore and you're going to be moving someone else into that position, so they could come to these dates, August 30th and 31st, right? Because we really truly want people who are going to be invested in the program and wanting to really support our new teachers. So 2 dates, and we gave you 2 different times, from 4:30 to 6 and from 5 to 6:30. So please, like I said, make a note of that. Okay, any thoughts, Lisa Bridget, so far on anything?
Rhonda just asked, do we need to come to both? No, you do not need to come to both. It's just an option for 2 different times. What fits your schedule the best?
Yeah, we always seem to have more of our middle school teachers wanting the later time, so we put one up at 5 o'clock just to support them in their work schedule. Okay. And I think we have about 25 people signed up when I looked yesterday.
Where do we sign up?
You're going to go right into Progo.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, and again, there's the course and section. All right, and let's see, what I'd like to share, we have on this particular site here, we have some really outstanding mentor program presentations. So schools that shared their programs, Vieira High School, Stone, Apollo, South Lake, and Riviera a couple of years ago, are on that drive. And I just checked them all. They're all there. They all work. So if you are wanting some updated information, or maybe you're thinking, oh, what can I do differently? Or what do other people do in this program? Here you go. You can go on there and you can see high school, middle, and we have 3 elementary schools there with just some really cool things that they do throughout their mentoring program to support the program. Just some. And even if you're not on here, we have opportunities if you're doing something really cool in your school to go ahead and share that. We are going to be doing our mentor chats. You're welcome to send, if you have a link to something you're doing at your school, you can send it to me and I'll send it out to everyone too. So we really want to collaborate and make sure that even if you're a new mentor, that you're not wondering, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to do it? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So please, like I said, if you're sitting here thinking, I do something cool, I know Marcy over at Johnson does something really cool at the end of the year, that you're welcome to share that with everyone. Okay. All right, so before I switch, I just have one quick thing. Lisa, did you hit the record?
I did.
Okay, because I was going to do it and it said it was recording, so I wanted to make sure we were at least getting it recorded. Okay. All right, so is there any questions on my part before I turn it over? Because now we're going to get into that induction policies procedure piece. Anyone have questions on any part of mine? Bridget, Lisa, anything to add?
No, I
No,
think
I'm
you did
good.
it well.
Thank
Mhm.
Okay, Lisa, take it over.
All right, so new teacher trainings. I created a Google site for New Teacher Academy Day 1. I am going to share that information in an email to all lead mentors so that you can share it with your new teachers at your school. It will stay open all the way until November, and then I will shut it down. And everything that they need for a new hire is in there. PDCP, which is for teachers on a temporary certificate that need more than 12 hours according to their statement of eligibility, will open again in September. I've already had quite a few teachers asking me about that. And it's our in-house program. It's only $300 if they complete within their time frame of their temporary certificate and do not need an extension. If they need an extension now, there's going to be an additional fee. So that is way cheaper than going the college route. But they do have options if they don't want to go through our program here and they have not passed the general knowledge test, then there are college programs that they can look at. Classes, if new teachers are looking to take classes and they need professional development, I highly, highly, highly encourage them starting with reading endorsement classes, because that is a must for all teachers on a temporary certificate, and it's great information for any teacher. There's also strategies for engagement, ESOL cross-cultural awareness, and Fiddlers offers some PDA courses, which are professional development alternatives, and they have a 20-hour ESE course that can be done on their own and is very complete. The other thing is that in Monday's LTP was information about the reading and ESOL courses that are open right now for registration. So you might want to look at that and share that with your new teachers or any teacher at your school that might need a reading class or an ESOL class, because they do fill up pretty quickly at this time of year. Okay. So now, this year I redid the New Teacher Academy Handbook, and I gave it out face-to-face to the participants that joined New Teacher Academy Day 2. So last year we did send it out to every lead mentor so that you can see what it was, see what it looked like, refer to it during your meetings and things. This year I am not doing that. I'm actually going to put it on the Day 1 Google Sites as a reference so that you can view it there. I printed 250 of them and it cost me $1,800. So it was a lot of money, and I know it was not used as a resource maybe as much as it could have been, or life is busy and we get busy and it goes on the shelf and everybody forgets about it. So I will have it on as a resource on the New Teacher Academy Day 1 Google Sites, and I can also put it as a resource in our lead mentor chat so that you can find everything here as well. At this time, New Teacher Academy Day 2 is being held face-to-face, and I do have dates scheduled in October for those who were not able to attend in July. Shout out real quick to New Teacher Academy in July. I did have, the elementary had 125 new teachers on Monday the 26th, and secondary on July 27th, we had 100 new teachers. So it was super exciting to see everybody and put names with faces and see what schools, people are going to. Any questions on that so far? All right. So teachers on a temporary certificate, they get what is called a statement of eligibility. I cannot suggest strongly enough to please have your teachers on a temporary certificate print their statement of eligibility, share it with administration, let them know these are the things they have to get done. I also highly recommend that your teachers that are on a temp know the names: Dinah Kramer, Sharon Duran Doucette, or Doucette Duran, and Lisa Stanley, because we will be contacting them regularly about what are you doing to meet your statement of eligibility? Have you started taking your tests? You have, countdown, 1.5 years to get everything completed. What are you doing? And my favorite quote from last year was one teacher saying, I didn't know you were emailing me, or this was meant for me. Well, if we're emailing it to you, it's meant for you. So please have that communication with your new teachers on a temporary certificate. Get to know who they are. Help support them. Help them, contact either me, Dinah, or Sharon, and we are happy to help. We would rather be proactive than reactive. You do not need to understand all of it. You just need to help them know they have a statement of eligibility and have requirements to complete. Okay? So again, this year we are using the new teacher induction site, and we are putting most of our information here and trying to build a resource page that is useful and helpful to you. All of the forms are here. All of our videos that we will be sending out for our lead mentor chats will be housed here. Bridget does her mentor newsletter. She puts it on here as well. So we are trying to really utilize what is there and make sure that you have the information that you need in a one-stop shop instead of searching. So you go to departments and programs, scroll down to human resources, go to professional learning and development, and then new teacher induction, and everything. I updated all of the forms there. They're already there for you to use, and some other handbooks will be there for you to use as well. And I'm getting to that in just a minute. So your guidebook is updated there. I did update it with this year. Again, it's only available on the website. I'm not doing a paper version because as information changes from the state, or as our contract changes and requirements change, I would have to continually update the book and publish new, have new books published and stuff, which is costly and not a wise use of time. So your guidebook is there. It does have the forms in it as well, but I've downloaded the forms to individual PDFs on the website. So they are there for you to print and use. Any questions you have about who should be in induction, your answers are within this book. Stipend information, answers are within this book. The induction roster. Last year I used the induction roster. I created it on the site map, SharePoint site map, that's what it's called. And it is under induction roster, and I made some updates to it this year. So if you have nobody in your mentoring program, there will be a box that you click, nobody in my mentoring program. If you have teachers that are doing a non-participation form, you will still fill out their name, and then you will do does not need a mentor. And then if you have teachers that need a mentor, you will put the mentee's name, the mentor's name, and what type of certificate they're on, and when did they start in the program. Are they in year 1 or year 2? So you will fill out the form regularly. I cannot even express how many times I look at this induction roster and look at the data that is there and all the information to see who is receiving the support of having a mentor, who is on a non-participation form, and who is on a temporary certificate. And we use the induction rosters and the information that you input there, and we triangulate it with the information that we get from the DOE, along with what is in AS 400, to make sure that we are not do not have wrong information in the system, to make sure that our teachers on a temporary certificate are receiving the support they need, to make sure that our teachers on a professional certificate are also getting services. And I refer to the induction roster numerous times, and I do get emails like when it's been touched and updated and things. So I put on here the administrative checklist. what is due? September 17th, I need the induction rosters up, everyone's induction roster uploaded by September 17th. It is a live document, so you can change it at any time. Then it again needs to be updated December 10th. And by updated, I mean you go in and look at it. If nothing has changed, that is great. If something has changed, please make those changes by December 10th. Then again, February 25th. And the final one, it was encouraged that this year we move the date up because of testing dates. So everything is due by April 29th, and we're going to wrap up our induction program by April 29th so that going into testing and into the year procedures, we don't have the induction program looming over our head with me sending email reminders to please update your induction roster. Please make sure that everything is done. Last year, I had over 635 teachers within the induction program, and it's me checking to make sure that they're getting mentoring, me checking to make sure that the paperworks are being filled out, me checking to make sure that they're on AS400 correctly and everything else. And then me emailing you as a reminder, please update the induction roster, or me emailing the assistant principal, hey, I don't see anybody on your induction roster, but I do see, according to AS400, you hired somebody. Why are they not on the induction roster? And then when I hear crickets, then I have to include my director in the email, which I really don't like to do, and send it back to your administrator and your assistant principal and say, hey, I see that, you know, so-and-so is not on the induction roster. Please make sure you update your induction roster. And then usually the principal emails back right away and says it will be taken care of. So I'm begging, I'm pleading, please update your induction roster on time. You have the dates there already. You already have new teachers in your building. You can start working on this tomorrow or Friday or Monday or next week. I know things are busy, but this information, part of it is state statute and is required, and part of it is good practices because we do want to retain our new teachers and we want to make sure that they have the support and that we do have the right information on them. And we use this induction roster also when it comes time for pay. I share this with the employment specialists. The employment specialists refer to it to see, did you really have anybody that you were mentoring? Did you have a mentoring team? Were you the lead mentor contact on the induction roster? And did that person do more than 99 days? Because if they did not do more than 99 days, then they do not get paid for mentoring. And I know that was a lot. So any questions on that right now?
I have a quick question. I think that you mentioned something. I got a couple of my teachers ask me, I guess they're switching from Blackboard to Canvas, right?
Correct.
Okay. And they want to know, like, if they took a course in Blackboard, like, is that automatically going to transfer over? I don't know. They had like weird questions about. So I wanted to know, like, if they did something in Blackboard, does that automatically go into their transcript, or should I told them, I said, print everything out and save it in case there's something that doesn't go over or something. I don't know. They were asking me questions about things I didn't really know, but I wanted to know, you said that was going to open in September though, right? Canvas? Or?
Correct. The Canvas is open right now. It should be transferring. Is it your PDCP teachers?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I will be in touch with them because I have not opened that yet. Kelly Bishop and I worked on it some this summer. It's got put on the back burner a little bit because of New Teacher Academy and all the hirings going on. So I have to go in and manually input all of that information myself. So it will be done and it will be transferred over.
Okay, then I think they'll be relieved, so I will tell them.
Thank you. Okay. Again, induction roster is updated a little bit, so there is a button. If you do not have any new teachers, please click that. If you have teachers that are on non-participation, please make sure to click that. And please verify with the school secretary or someone to run the Z703 report to make sure what type of certificate does your teacher have. A lot of times they'll say, oh, I was an experienced teacher in New York and I transferred down here. So you're like, oh, they must be on a professional. Well, no, state of Florida didn't recognize the information that they sent, or they needed to take testing. So now they are on a temporary. So don't just assume what certificate they have. And one more last thing, and I'll quit harping on it. Please make sure to put their legal name in there. 2 years ago, to find out how many Catherine Smiths we had in this district was mind-blowing. Okay. I see, I think a hand raised. Is that right? Yes,
Yeah.
Richard.
Yeah, I just had a quick question about, did I hear you correctly that a teacher with temporary needs to get the reading endorsement? They need to sign up for reading endorsement classes now?
A teacher with a temporary certificate, if they go through the professional development PDCP program, yes, they do have to take 2 reading courses. If they are going through a state university, they still have to take reading courses. If that is on their statement of eligibility, everybody's is different.
Okay.
But PDCP does have to have reading endorsement classes.
Do they only have to take 2, or do they have to complete the whole thing?
It depends on what they're teaching.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lisa, what screen again? Because Michael Boland's asking.
It's the Z703.
Okay, Z703. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. All right, again, we do have a support team here. We want to help you. We want to see what is going on. We want to celebrate with you. Linda Buffum, lead mentor contact. I work with new teachers and school-based mentors. I also offer administrative support. Bridget does mentor newsletter and certification. Dinah Kramer and Sharon Doucette Doran are our gurus. So you can, when this is sent out to you, you can print this out and give it to the new teachers. It's also available on the New Teacher Academy Handbook that I printed. I printed that like 3 times in there. So I know everybody's head is spinning this time of year. I know new teachers' heads are spinning this time of year. I talked to one today who said, "You look familiar, but I don't know why." And it was just a week ago I met him. So I get it. My head is spinning. And last but not least, again, it does not matter how many new teachers or how many mentees you have at your school, as it did years ago. We pay the stipend whether you have 6 mentor teachers or 20 mentor teachers. It is $165 for 1 mentee, $300 for 2 or more mentees, as long as it is on the induction roster and we can verify that this is correct information. Teachers on a temporary certificate must have somebody that is CET certified mentoring them. And lead mentors, you get $300 for being the lead mentor. If you are the lead mentor and also have mentees, you still only get the $300. You do not get $300 and $300. And here is one other miscommunication I want to clarify. If you have teachers that are transferring in from out of district or out of state that have many, many years experience and have a professional certificate, they do not have to be in the new teacher induction program. They can be NP, non-participating. That is administrative decision though. So if you see a rock star and you want to do, your administration wants to do non-participating, they can do non-participating if they have a professional certificate and they have experience. Because we know mentoring programs and strong mentoring programs is best practices and good for retention. That's the end of my spiel. Any questions?
Lisa, thank you so much. I know that's a lot of information. And like I said, Lisa has to jump off early. So last chance to put any questions, or if you think of anything at the end, Lisa, should they email you or what?
Oh, of course they can email me, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because in the next 20 minutes, they may have a question. So,
right, absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you for all that important information, those updates. All right, Bridget, what do you have to share?
That's my favorite part, learning to share on Teams. So I'm going to open here. Can you see this?
I cannot. Lisa, do you need to give her control?
That is the best part about Teams. It's just so much fun to try this platform. Let me do this.
Do you see a take control up at the very top, Bridget?
I took it.
Okay.
I'm
There you
boss now.
Okay, perfect. Yes, now he's coming along well. Yes, perfect.
Woohoo! All right, I got it. All right, guys, I know there's so many of you who are participating today who know all about the newsletters, and I'm going to continue coming after some of you to share some of your awesome ideas with me, because I'd love to put it out for the district. We just cannot be in a silo with what we're doing in our programs. And I go to so many schools and I hear from loads and loads of mentors who just really appreciate you sharing what you are doing in your school with them so they can do it as well. Because it's really hard. I mean, we've got time constraints and things like that to come up with something original. So I really appreciate that. For those of you who are new, this would be an example of a newsletter. There was one sent out today. So if you did not receive today's newsletter, please email me at read.bridget, Brevard Schools, for me to put you in the distribution list. And I'm going to be moving it down to once a month, just with more information instead. But you can see here, I usually try to have a little blurb at first, but then we really break it down into different areas that you can focus on with the mentors and the mentees in your school. You know, this mentoring program is yours. This is your baby. You can do whatever you want as long as you're filling out the forms, but you can make it as strong and as impactful as you can and as you want, and do different things to really have those new teachers have all the support that they can get. So yeah, I just give some ideas and suggestions that you can work on. You don't have to hit all 8 of those. You can pick and choose. You can talk to your mentors about, what really will work with their new teachers. Some, especially right now, it's the personal. They're so overwhelmed with what's going on with school and getting set up in their personal life. If they may have we have a lot of people who just moved here. So, talk to your mentors about that. Is that the area they need to focus on? It could be parents and community as well right now. We live in a kind of a contentious issues going on with masks, no masks. People feel very strongly one way or another. We may have some new teachers that just don't know how to deal with all that emotion of parents coming into their classroom. So that may be an area where you as the mentor and you as the lead mentor really, really have those talks with the new teachers. So I just give suggestions there. Then I try to do a mentor-mentee spotlight. I didn't have one today because we're just getting started. I did highlight Patty Fox's today, but here we have Marcy. Marcy's always, she was super busy this week to give me something, but I'm gonna pick on all of you. And you know what? I see Shay is on this call as well. And he is at the virtual school. And you know what, Shay, you might have some awesome things to share from the virtual school. So every single one of you, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to showcase what you're doing in your schools, especially if you have a mentor who's really, really working well with a mentee. I'd like to spotlight them as well. So please reach out to me for that. And again, I just wanted to touch base with you about this is your program. You are the teacher leader in the school. You actually have more teeth than you think you might have as far as making sure that this is running smoothly. We do that survey every spring, and I added those, some of those numbers to today's newsletter. And so you can see you are making such an impact. Our numbers keep going up, especially, and I wrote, last year was just crazy. And our numbers still went up, which is just shocking. So, and that's all thanks to you. But we still have, I'd say, a handful, maybe up to 10 new teachers who give feedback on that survey that they have never once met with a mentor over the course of the year. Now, here's the thing with that survey. It's not anonymous. We can see who's sending it in. And, we haven't called anybody out. We just don't want to do that because it's just, you're not making a ton of money doing this. But the point is you're signing off saying you're doing it. You are collecting a check. Again, it's just a handful of teachers. But as the lead mentor, that is your role to make sure those mentors are meeting with the new teachers, that they're doing what they're saying they're doing. You have the teeth to follow up with them and say, hey, even touching base with a new teacher, how's it going? Are things working out with the mentor? Are you getting, talk to me, give me some feedback here. Are things going in the right direction? What have you guys been talking about? Not that you're checking in on that mentor, but you kind of are, but you're also checking with the mentor as well. Is this a good fit for that teacher? The new teacher. Sometimes, and it's rare, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And a lot of times it's at the, it's at all levels, but sometimes it's at when we mix a PE teacher and the mentor is physics. And sometimes it's just hard to jive that way, not personality wise, but if they had questions and they needed more support in their content area or just how to set up a classroom for PE. So just really own that program and feel free to make some decisions there that's for the best for those new teachers. So I just want to give you that power if you don't feel like you have it already. Our administrators are so busy. You're very busy as well, but they will support you, and we will support you at the district with it as well. So I definitely want you to work on those relationships right now, really push those mentors to create those relationships with their new teachers. That's where that trust gets built. It's just like with those students, but that's how we can get movement once we get going. Once we see that anticipation start to go down in that graph, that's, we have to have those relationships built in order to keep them pumped up through the end of the school year. So anyways, I want your feedback with the newsletter. I will reach out to you. I will come to your school, take pictures. You don't always have to send me things. I love going to the schools. I'm out there already. And like I said, Shay, calling you out. I know you're virtual, but I still would love to hear what are some things that you do virtually to support your new teachers that way. So are there any questions right now for me? Let me just check chat.
We've been doing well, Bridget. We haven't had a lot of questions.
Shay. All right. Okay. Nobody else is. Yeah. Right.
Let's just see. I did not get a newsletter from Lori Jones, Columbia.
Okay, Lori. So just email me. I guess I'll try to keep this. I don't have these recordings, so I'll write that down. Thank you, Marcy. I love you helping me so much with the newsletter. Just your input and hopefully people getting ideas from some of the things that you're sharing, because you are super creative. And please, I know Rick, you're on here. I see, like I said, it's the OGs of the mentoring world. They're all on this one particular call. Martha, I just really want you to share some of the things that you're doing. So, and you're not shooting your own horn. I really, we love to showcase it. So thank you.
Yeah, Bridget, thank you so much. And just a couple other little things I want to mention, because I've been getting some emails about clinical educator training. So I want to talk about that because I'm so excited that many of you lead mentors are looking around your building and having conversations and identifying some people who would be great mentors to add to your mentoring team. So as of Monday, August 2nd, the clinical educator memo and application went out in the leadership team packet. So it's out there. It went to principals, and you can also access that on our website. It's on under the tab on the top. You go to staff, you open up staff, it'll open up a directory, and it's under L, alphabetical, for leadership team packet, and you can find it there. You can always email me and I can send you the application too. So what we're going to be doing is running an 8-week online Canvas course, because as you know, we've transitioned from Blackboard to Canvas. And it will be just like what we did last year. It worked out really, really well. It'll be it is self-paced, but self-paced to a point, because you will be working, not you, but your mentors, your new mentors will be working on an online course, but we'll have to attend 3 evening virtual sessions. And those dates of the 3 virtual sessions are on the application. So we're asking Bridget and Lisa and myself that before you turn in an application that they can commit to attend those 3 dates. They are 2 hours each, so you can do the math. That's 6 hours of training. We will be doing new content during that time. So if they miss the virtual meetings, they're not going to get credit for CET. They will have not completed all the required coursework. So that's out there. And then the other question I've gotten was about refresher. We trained a lot of people last year. It's about 150 people in the clinical educator training refresher course, and that will be rolled out again this year. So if you happen to, and I know some of you signed up and you had great intentions to go ahead and do it and you never opened the Blackboard course. So you said, can I do it again this year? Yes, but it will be a Canvas course, and we're not quite there yet with what we need to do for that course, because it's a shorter CET course. It just has the updates from the DOE. So if you've taken obviously you've taken the regular CET initial course, that hasn't changed. It just has some new topics added to it. So we're going to ask you to do the refresher. We'd like everyone to do the refresher, and that will be opening approximately October and will remain open through May. So plenty of time to do it. It's not that long. If you were working on it, you could do it in a weekend. And there's an assessment at the end. Once you take the assessment, our goal, like we did in Blackboard, is to have that graded. And if you score the passing score of 160 out of 180, 16 out of 80 correct, it gets pushed to your transcript. So I'm not grading papers. So that particular piece is not quite in play yet, but once it gets in play, we've finished the transition from Blackboard to Canvas, we plan on opening refresher again, most likely beginning of October. So any questions on CET? Okay, what leadership packet date? Marcy, the memo went out in the Monday, August 2nd one. So it was just this past Monday, August 2nd for CET. Again, there's nothing out about refresher yet, but this is the initial 3-day course. Okay. Bridget, can we think of anything else that we may have missed?
I do not think so. You've already talked about the mentor chats.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and so once again, since we're finishing all of our kickoffs with this particular session, on Friday, my plan is to email everyone, so look for this email, and I will put the PowerPoint, because I know for many of you with Lisa, it has a lot of important dates and such in it, so I'll send you the PowerPoint. And the responsibilities form that you're going to write your name, school, date, and just make a copy and send that back through email. I will again, in the email I send you Friday, put the subject line that you need to write in there. And let's see, the mentor chats calendar, so everyone can get that on their own calendars. And then the link to today's recording if you want to hear it again. So that will be coming your way on Friday.
I guess the only other thing I want to add to it, Linda, is I think the forms or just the statements of eligibility are so challenging to figure out with some of our new teachers the ones on temporary certificates, I don't touch those with a 10-foot pole. I got to be honest with you people. I send it right to Lisa Stanley to get questions answered, or Dinah or Sharon. We've had a couple teachers, sadly, within the past couple years who have lost their jobs because they were given misinformation on their statement of eligibility. And it's so difficult to read, or something gets messed up with the dates and the requirements. I just find it so much easier just to pass it along to those 3 people and not touch it. And if that helps you at all with making that decision, you do not have to know those answers. And I just really wanted to second what Lisa said on that one.
Yeah. And I love that too, that I don't want anyone to think as a lead mentor, again, they have to have all answers, because reach out to Lisa. Again, Lisa really focuses on the induction program, our new teachers, PDCP. Again, I am focusing on lead mentors. And if you need my help at any point, call me, contact me. If you need me to come out to the schools, I'll be happy to come meet with you, meet at any time with your mentoring team. I'm here to help you. And that's like I said, with our team here, Bridget, Lisa, and myself, we all have our own little niches. Bridget's out in schools all the time, so I know she'd be more than happy to assist in any way to support you and to support those new teachers. She does a fabulous job with the mentoring newsletter, and like I said, it just gives you, the one today was why I sent it out to you again, it just gives you a great place to start. So I always want to thank her for all the effort she does in pulling that together, because it guides you, it gives you what you can do and what you can say in your mentoring team meetings. So Bridget, again, thank you for the wonderful job you do with that. So I think that's it. Yeah, it's 3:55 and I'm finished. If anyone wants to stay on for a few minutes with some individual questions, I will be on here, and Bridget and I will close it out. So thank you so much for attending. Thank you for stepping up and again supporting our mentors and our new teachers. We so appreciate your work.
Thanks.
And have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Martha, are you still on? Okay, maybe not.
Hello?
Martha, can you hear us?
Oh, you were not hearing me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I am sorry. So I was saying that during the session, my school computer crashed. So I had to log on to my private. So I missed quite a bit.
Okay.
But I will just wait
I
for your
wanted to talk to her.
Huh?
I wanted to say, hey. Oh, whoops.
Wait, I'm just going to stop.
Stop.